Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to be going over and showing you how to install the Bestop Easy Fold tonneau cover here on a 2020 Toyota Tundra. So this is what our cover looks like installed on the truck here, and if you ask me, it's a pretty good looking cover. It does stick up above the bed about an inch or so, so it isn't a low profile cover option, but this is actually one of the more cost effective options on the market. So things such as the flush design you just simply don't have. Now this is constructed of a durable black vinyl tarp here, so these things hold up pretty well over time. After a huge amount of time, say like 10 years or so, these things can start to sun fade, but aside from that, these vinyl tarps work great at keeping the water out of the bed. There is one thing that they don't do too great at, and that's going to be security. So obviously we're going to be covering the contents in our bed, which is great, but there's really no one to stop you from coming up and just cutting a hole in the tarp here and getting things out of the bed that may need. So if you've got some real valuable items, you'd maybe want to consider a hard tonneau cover. They're definitely a little bit more secure than these soft ones, but overall these soft ones are much more cost effective and they're a lot easier to use. This particular one here, all we have to do is just reach underneath, undo a couple clamps, and then we can fold it back when we need to haul those larger items. So underneath on either side here, we're going to have two clamps, one at the front, one at the back. Very easy to use. Just pull down to unlock them and then slide them inward, and then you're also going to fold them back here. We have one on the other side. And then we can actually just start folding the panel back towards the cab. So I know a lot of people like to haul taller items eventually, like a couch or refrigerator, and you don't want to have to remove the tonneau cover completely. Well, you don't have to here for this one. We can just simply undo those two clamps there and then fold it back, and then we can actually secure it in this position here when we're driving down the road because we have those little cam buckle clamps. So now let's say we need to use our full bed. Let's say we're really piling some stuff in here. Well, it's just as easy to remove the cover as it is to get us to this point here because we just have two more clamps underneath, and once you pop those off, you can just lift the cover off the bed. It is very lightweight, so it's definitely something one person can do. So in regards to weather protection, we actually do have foam gaskets along all of the edges here of our cover. And once we cinch those clamps down, it's going to compress that gasket to form a watertight seal here with your bed lip, which is going to ensure that you don't get any water in the bed. Now, that's not to say it's impossible. No tonneau cover on the market is completely waterproof. So there is always a chance that water could get in there, but unless it's monsoon conditions and you're really just dumping a ton of water on there, chances are it should stay relatively dry in your truck bed for the most part. So now that we've gone over the tonneau cover a little bit, let's go ahead and jump into the installation. This is honestly the easiest tonneau cover I have ever installed, so it shouldn't take you guys much time at all. So the first step of your installation, go ahead and jump onto your bed here. And if you have a buddy to help you set the tonneau cover in position, that's great. If not, you can still do it by yourselves. But what we want to watch out for when we're setting this into position is that, number one, we're covering the header seal there. So we have a seal on the bottom of our tonneau cover. We want to make sure that that's going over this part of the bed here. That way we can provide a watertight seal so we don't get any water in our bed. We also need to make sure that the buckles here are going to be up by the cab. Now on either side here, we want to come underneath the cover and we're going to rotate down one of our clamps like so, and we're going to unlock it. So there's going to be a long handle on the side there. You'll just simply pull that down. And now we are going to slide this clamp assembly all the way over to the edge of the bed because we're going to be hooking it on to the lip of the bed. So I'm going to go ahead and test fit it now by closing it. And there's still a little bit of a gap there, so we need to go ahead and tighten it to close that distance. So we just do that by spinning it clockwise. Now on the contrary, if it's too tight, you will just simply loosen it or turn it counterclockwise. You go ahead and test that again now. We're almost there. I do need to make a couple more turns still in order to get a nice tight hold there on the bed, and we'll know that happens when it sort of draws the cover down. So now that we have this side secure, we're just going to do that exact same thing over on the other side of our bed. Now we need to come back up top here and we need to release these buckles. So we have one on each side. And once we do that, we're going to begin folding the cover back towards the tailgate. So now once we have our cover unfolded here, we're just going to go ahead and repeat those same few steps again here for the clamps closest to the tailgate. And now we'll just go ahead and close our tailgate here and make sure we have overlapping coverage of our tonneau cover over the lip of the tailgate there. That way we don't have to worry about any water getting in. And at this point, you can kind of just visually inspect the cover to make sure it's even on each side and we have enough coverage front to back, but you could easily just make some adjustments there if you didn't quite have full coverage in one area. But aside from that, that's pretty much done. And now with all of our adjustments made, that's going to do it today for our look and installation of the Bestop Easy Fold tonneau cover here on a 2020 Toyota Tundra.